Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here. Leroy Sunderland Starrett. You know the name, probably know the tools, or if you don't, stand by. It's going to be a good one today. Now for those of you who know the name Starrett, you know that they're a manufacturer of precision machinist tools like the ones you see here. What happened was the founder of Starrett Tool Company is Leroy Starrett, or LS Starrett as the company is known as today. And one of his first tool inventions was like this tri-square. But believe it or not, he had an invention before that, actually a couple inventions, but when he was 29 years old, he came out with the Hasher. Now, Starrett's first patent for tool patent was that tri-square in 1879. However, 14 years before that, at the age of 29, he patented this Hasher. And it's basically a food processor back in the day when before motors or anything else. These sold for $5 each. They came in a bunch of different sizes and variations. A couple years after this, he repatented it again as a washing machine. I have two variants here. In the back you see the 10-inch models. In the front we have an 8-inch model. And let me give you an example of how these work. Now you have to remember this is 1865 patent date, and 150 years old. Things were a little bit different back then. Apparently Starrett had designed this after seeing a walking beam steam engine on one of the steamboats that he took. Basically it's a handle that goes through to a gear train that drives a flywheel that moves the walking beam up and down and chops whatever you put in there, whether it be meat or cabbage. A lot of people called it a cabbage chopper. And it would also have a rod in the back that I'll show you in a minute that advances the bucket, so that the bucket advances and it would chop a different area of the food in there. The faster you move it, obviously the faster it'll chop. And what's really interesting about this is the construction and how he made this. And let me show you that. Now, viewing it from the other side, you can see he has a cam here that works as a lobe, which moves this rod, and that rod will advance a gear. And there's a gear train on the bottom of this bucket that will advance. You can see, and there's a little spring here that holds it up. And you'll pardon the excessive lubrication I have on there, but I've heard these run squeaky and it drives me crazy. Now, viewing from the back, you can notice that there's oil ports on every single wear point throughout the entire drivetrain. And the only thing that this was, I drove 4 hours to pick this up in Hershey, Pennsylvania. An old lady had it in her garage for years, and I found out about it and drove over there and picked it up. The only thing I had to do was replace this pin. I just made that on the lathe real quick, but as you could see how it performs flawlessly. 150 years old. Let me show you the top. Okay, you can see from the top view how this would work. Again, 150 years old. Works almost flawlessly. I mean, it works as good as it did, I'm sure, when it was brand new. One interesting thing to note is this blade. You can sharpen the blade, and these two screws here, these machine screws, you could lower the blade down so that you would get the clearance. You would want it just about a 1/16 or just a hair above that wooden base, so that it would chop up without damaging or dulling your blade. And you could do that with all of them, and then I guess you could replace the blade. You pull these pins out, the thing pops apart to clean, and let me show you the... Now this 8-inch model, it's nice. It's probably my most pristine model. You can see it says #1 here, and you can see it still has the original paint. They probably did a little bit of pinstriping on there to dress it up. Had a galvanized type bucket, and it was just a beautiful piece of machinery that, like I said, still works today. Let me show you how this one works. Okay, we'll start off first very slow, so you could see how it actually operates, and then we'll increase the speed a little bit. This is just a joy to operate, a joy to watch. Everybody sees it, gets a kick out of it. Anyway, so that's the Starrett Food Hasher from 1865. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a nice day. Take care.